What is going on, guys? Noah Brewer here, back again with another video, and today I'm just making a quick update on CBO and Facebook requiring CBO. I've been reading a little bit more about it, and they're releasing more and more information behind the scenes, in their help center. I have everything pulled up right now, and it's very conflicting. It seems like they don't know exactly how they're going to approach it yet, but they're just kind of easing things out, getting feedback, adjusting to the way that people react. And I'm kind of seeing a lot of mixed opinions from people and mixed opinions from Facebook themselves, to where they don't really know what they want to do. I can't figure out why exactly they want to require CBO. It's kind of just something that seems like they're trying to make people spend either more money, or they're trying to control the way that people are spending money. I don't want to jump to conclusions because I know that CBO can be something that is very good, but even Facebook themselves are saying some things that is kind of giving me suspicion and second thought about CBO as a whole. So as I'm reading, the CBO warning just keeps on showing up for more and more people. Now, what this means is, when I first saw it, which was about a month or two ago, I don't remember exactly when I first saw it, but usually when Facebook releases a new update or a warning about something that's going to change, they only send it to a certain percentage of people so that they can get feedback and make sure it doesn't screw their whole business up. So that's what I think that initial launch was. The account that I saw it in was just one of the accounts that was in that small percentage. But now it's starting to show up in almost every single ad account. It's a little blue warning. I'm sure that you've seen it by now. But basically, if you go to the Facebook Business Help Center and you look at the optimization ad delivery section, they talk a lot about CBO and how to use it correctly in their eyes, and how it works best in their eyes. I wish that Facebook said when these articles were written or last updated. I'm reading an article right now that says, if you have specific spend targets for each ad set and you don't want any flexibility between them, essentially meaning if you want a certain amount of money to be spent on each ad set, then they clearly say here, we don't recommend using campaign budget optimization. So this kind of leads you to the fact of saying, if they're going to force campaign budget optimization, why are they recommending not to use campaign optimization under any circumstance? Where they're saying, if you want to spend, $5 a day in a specific ad set, campaign budget optimization is not the best way to go about doing that. But now they're going to turn around and say that they're going to start requiring it. So what's their way around this? And this is basically... The way that they're handling this is kind of sketchy, and I don't know exactly how to do it yet, but they're messing around with bid caps and target costs and a bunch of manual bidding stuff, but they keep on talking about ad spend limits, like minimums and maximums. So let's say you have 7 ad sets. Like my strategy right now is basically launching 7 ad sets at $5 a day, like the basic product testing strategy, right? With a campaign budget optimization, if you had to use campaign budget optimization and you couldn't use $5 per day ad sets anymore, my whole strategy would be different. Meaning, instead of having 7 ad sets at $5 a day, I would have to do 7 ad sets in a campaign that was set to $35 per day, because 7 times 5 is 35 a day. But the thing about campaign budget optimization is it's not going to spend that money equally between each ad set. It's going to try and optimize and spend the most money in the ad set that gets the best results, which sounds good. Honestly, the normal budget strategy right now works fine, and there's no point in fixing it if it's not broken. And I've tried testing products with CBO as it is, and it's not the greatest thing in the world. I mean, it's doing really good with scaling, but it's not the greatest thing for testing. So this is what I've been waiting for ever since I made the last video, was kind of some answers as to how they're going to handle this. And the most information that I've gotten has been basically them saying that you're going to be able to manually bid, which is useless. And what was more interesting is they're saying that you're going to be able to set a minimum and a maximum spend for each ad set. So as I was saying earlier, the campaign budget optimization is not going to spend equally in each ad set, but if you're required to use campaign budget optimization, you can have 7 ad sets with a $35 per day budget on the campaign, and then you can set a maximum cost on each ad set and a minimum cost, so a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 5, right? so that each ad set continues to spend $5 per day, which is great, right? Basically the same thing. Now, this kind of raises some questions, which, like, what happens if you want to add ad sets in that campaign? Do you have to edit the budget every single time? You know, should you just set a maximum budget, or should you just set a campaign budget of, you know, let's say like $10,000, and then just set a minimum and a maximum for every single ad set that you create, so that, you know, each ad set is going to spend $5, but it'll never spend the full amount because you're setting minimums and maximums? Or is this going to be something where we're going to have to constantly be editing budgets as we're adding new ad sets or turning ad sets off? This is what's really confusing to me, and I'm still reading about it, and they're not being very clear, and I guess we're not going to know until they finally release the change. But this is where I get suspicious, right? This is where I'm kind of like, what's going on Facebook? Because they're saying that they're going to be forcing campaign budget optimization, and they're going to set minimum costs and maximum costs, or minimum spend and maximum spend for each ad set. But they're saying it very clearly right here in front of me that if you want zero flexibility for campaign budget optimization to optimize, right? Like if you want it to spend the same amount on each ad set, then they don't recommend using campaign budget optimization. And that includes, you know, setting minimum and maximum spend. So this just doesn't make sense to me. Like, Facebook is basically saying, okay, you should use campaign budget optimization, but you shouldn't use campaign budget optimization. But we're going to force you to use it anyways, and we're going to put in some things to kind of make you feel like it's the same as before, but it's not really going to be the same as before. And it's just really making me wonder, you know, what's going to happen on that day when they force everything to go to campaign budget optimization? Is everything going to get screwed up? Are you going to have to rush to every single ad account and set a minimum and maximum ad spend for each individual ad set and then do the math and change everything overnight? Or are they going to add something new? I'm kind of waiting for more information before I start taking this too seriously, because I don't think Facebook is bold enough to make a change this big without having a set plan in place to have it be the same as before. Keep in mind, Facebook is a business, right? And their business is advertising. They need to keep their advertisers happy, and they need to keep their users happy, right? Like, there's kind of two sides to their business. And if they're not keeping advertisers happy, if their advertisers are not making money, you know, like people like me and you, they're not making any money, like, period. That's mainly their main stream of income, is advertisers spending money on their platform. So I believe that Facebook has every single intention to make this right, and every single intention to not screw up Facebook ads, right? But I guess we're gonna have to just wait and see. I'm gonna keep you guys updated every time I learn something new. I'm gonna continue testing with CBO just to keep getting more familiar with it, and you know, try and figure out if I can come up with a proven strategy that I can just rinse and repeat over and over again, just like everything else that I do. But that's it for this video. I hope you got good value out of it, and I hope that you're learning a little bit about CBO yourself. It's working really well for me. But I'll keep you guys updated with what goes on with it. As for this video, this is Noah Burritt, and I'm out. Peace!